Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And after a quick reminder that you have until this Sunday to enter the SD Gundam Battle Alliance Steam Key giveaway, linked down below, we're starting off with some breaking news from the Witch from Mercury anime. The Broadcasting Ethics and Program Improvement Organization, or BPO for short, has taken issue with the final episode of the first season of the anime. And anyone who's seen the anime obviously knows what the problem is. Suletta didn't wash her hands when reaching out for Miorine. So irresponsible in these times. Okay, but seriously now, so the BPO had a two-pronged issue with the episode. The fact that Suletta turned a guy into ketchup isn't necessarily a problem in and of itself. I mean, we've seen anime do so much worse, both in the present and in the past. But the problem is that Witch from Mercury was and is going to be broadcast on a prime-time kids time slot. Sunday, 5 p.m., so it's not really that surprising that some parents had some issues with the scene. But there is also another important thing. The BPO hasn't made any concrete decisions yet because their own members are internally divided. Some say that the crushing was too graphic and went too far, whereas others say that it was appropriately handled by making the blood darker and not actually showing the actual corpse of the guy, just the arm floating around. Meanwhile, on the Japanese internet then, things were apparently more unanimous, with comments like, "Dude, it's a Gundam series. What did you expect?" Which was a sentiment that I've also seen echoed over on the English internet. Another commenter then said that they have an issue with Gundam, but not with shows like Attack on Titan. Which then kind of goes to the core of the problem, because if I'm not mistaken, Attack on Titan is aired around midnight, which is not a kid's time slot. So we still have to see what is actually going to happen with all of this, because is the BPO going to consider this an issue? And if they do, then what is Bandai and Sunrise going to, well, Bandai just now, going to do with this? Because remember when Gundam Seed faced backlash for Kira and Flay sharing a bed together? They extended it in these special versions. And then there's also the question of what actual power or influence the BPO has, because it is a non-government organization. So despite having some recognition, they can't actually change or impose anything by themselves. As for my closing statement then, I'm going to give a spoiler warning here, because I'm going to bring something up that is an actual major plot point for from Witch from Mercury, and not just a funny meme that you've undoubtedly seen floating around. So if you haven't watched it yet, you can either manually skip to the timestamp on screen right now, or just to the next chapter. So, for as bloody and gory as the ketchup scene was, I'm actually surprised that this was the thing that finally got people to act. Because not only do we have Eri getting a killing spree during the prologue with a smile on her face, but there was also Elan getting literally wiped from existence. That hit like an isekai truck. Like, I couldn't believe they were gonna go that dark. All the way through, I was thinking like, something's gonna happen, right? Like, this is going to be prevented, right? No. And honestly, when it comes down to it, blood and gore are just kinda cheap tricks, whereas the real horror is what's left to the imagination. Again, as with what happened with Elan. So let's think happy thoughts again by having a look at the Band Presto prize items that were shown off at the Japan Amusement Expo 2023. Although I must say that I'm not entirely convinced by the first figure they showed off. I will say that this Quest figure is looking a lot more accurate than that horrible Gigi figure we had a short while back, but that's also not saying a whole lot, so yeah. So fortunately, things do get better with the LP Puru figure that was unveiled. It is just an unpainted prototype, so it is still a bit rough right now, but what we have is looking very promising. And she's also in a very energetic pose, which is very much befitting of her character. And currently she is slated for a September release. The next claw machine items then are Witch from Mercury acrylic keychains, featuring Suletta, Mirine, Ghoul, Elan, Shaddiq, Nika, Choo-Choo, Lauda, and then 2 combo ones, Suletta and Mirine, and Sophie and Norea. And they are slated for a June release. And then for July, there's 2 sets of Witch from Mercury Tomo Nui plushies. The first set consists of Suletta, Ghoul, and Nika, and the second set consists of Mirine, Shaddiq, and Elan. And since we're on the topic of conventions, this week they also showed off which items they'll be selling at the Hyper Plamo Fest 2023. They've got some limited stuff consisting of the Recycle Neon Green Color Master Grade 3.0 Gundam, Recycle Neon Red Master Grade Remaster Ale Strike, and Master Grade Recycled Purple Neon Exia, then a clear green regular Horo and a clear pink Momo Horo. Then there's also some regular stuff consisting of the high-grade Exia, 30-minute missions Spinaccio Knight, 30-minute Sisters Farfarina Conductor Form, and the entry-grade RX-78-2 full weapon set, regular RX-78-2 Strike Gundam with the beam rifle, and new Gundam. And then finally there's some Linkle Planet goods, the Gunpla idol group. A t-shirt for 4,500 yen, 34 US, a light stick for 3,000 yen, 23 US, a muffler towel for 2,500 yen, 19 US, can badges for 500 yen a pop, 4 US, and acrylic keychains for 1,000 yen a pop, 8 US. And of course, alongside the ticket was the 30-minute Sisters Richetta Special Limited Color version and the Cat Assembly Experience version Linkle Planet Color. Back to Witch from Mercury then, which got its Season 2 promotional artwork. And I really feel like doing a dedicated video speculating on this thing because we have some really interesting things going on with this promotional art. Contrary to how the season ended, Mirine now seems to be ready to put up a fight again, and the Ariel rebuild is copying her posture and direction. So I wonder if this is going to be reflected in Season 2. And then we got the exact release dates of Witch from Mercury's March kits, along with their box arts. On the 4th, we're getting the Lafrith Duo, and on the 18th, we're getting the Gundam Ariel Rebuild, as well as the 3 sets of decals. On the gaming front then, the big news of course came from Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Versus 2 OverBoost. After being shown at the Amusement Expo, the release date has been somewhat narrowed down to the summer of 2023, and we got a promotional video that I'll have linked down below. And the 2 big things for OverBoost are, of course, new mobile suits, of which the Gundam Earth 3 has already been announced, and a revamping of the X-Burst skills. In addition to the 3 existing ones, players will now also be able to pull off a vertical boost. Then the Bonds of the Battlefield 2 arcade game will be getting the Jim Kai and Zakutu Kai on March the 2nd. In Battle Operation 2 for consoles, the Gaza E joined the fun, and in celebration of the Thunderbolt TV version, players will be able to claim a free full armor Gundam and Psycho Zaku until March the 2nd. And for players who already have those, they will get recycled tickets instead. And since I specifically mentioned the console version, that means that we also have some PC version news. Not much, but they tweeted that they are working hard on a real update soon. So at least I appreciate that they are learning from their earlier silence. Meanwhile then, Gundam Breaker got the Demon Lord Satan Gundam multi-mission, and UC Engage got a bunch of Thunderbolt things. There's a login bonus for the full armor Gundam, and an event gacha for the Rigdom and EO Fleming. And in addition to those, there's now a bingo system and a total war shop for blueprints and characters of past events. In other news then, we got to see the rear of the Gogg girl, with those giant claw arms being connected to the backpack. And we got another Iron-Blooded Orphans mobile suit variation, the very samurai-inspired Valtraute or Veltrout. This machine is a Valkyria frame mobile suit that was designed to be able to protect allies and keep the front line standing. So for this purpose, it got extra armor while also maintaining its speed and agility, and for weapons, it was outfitted with the Valkyria Uchigatana and the Valkyria Wakizashi. As for the things you could get this week then, on Saturday you could get the third SDW Heroes Clear Color set from the Gundam base for 1,980 yen, 15 US, and the set consists of the SDW Heroes Night Strike Gundam and Warlock Aegis Gundam. Throughout the week then, the Cupsule action Gundam figures have been conquering gachapon machines across Japan. And as you can see, they are indeed called, well, written as Cupsule action and not Capsule action. Now at first I wasn't sure if this was some kind of pun that I was missing or if they simply misspelled it. But then I noticed that the katakana underneath is spelled as capsule, so yeah, it looks like that's just a big spelling mistake. And for 1,500 yen a spin, 11 US, you can get a palm-sized but fully articulated RX-78-2 in either its regular colors or in clear colors. And they'll also be available in stores for 1,650 yen a piece or 12 US. And today then, you could grab one or more high-grade Heindree for 1,760 yen, 13 US. The machine itself already looks really nice, but I have just fallen in love with the box art. There's just something about the way the Heindrees are drawn in front of that desert-like area with the blue sky. And for this week's reading material then, there was the big comic superior in which Gundam Thunderbolt is being serialized, Kukuru's the One's Island Mechanic and World Guidebook, and also 2 new announcements. On February the 20th, next week, we'll be getting the anime/game logo design book, which will also include a lot of Gundam logos, and on the 29th, we'll be getting the report of Witch from Mercury's first season, featuring a newly drawn illustration on both the front cover and also on the back cover, which will be revealed at a later date. And this book can be yours for 2,200 yen, 17 US. Moving on to this week's massive amount of apparel then, where Bancore started out with a bang on last week Friday. They came out with a lot of t-shirts for 3,520 yen each, 27 US, and zip-up hoodies for 8,250 yen, 63 US. And the available design are Amro's name and emblem, with camo, the Ayug, the Cyclops Squad, and the Albion theme. And if you want some more Zeon stuff, on the same day, the Lieutenant Commander collection also went up for pre-order. For 7,150 yen, 54 US, there is a sweatshirt in either standard Principality of Zeon Brown or Char Red. For 3,850 yen, 29 US, there is a t-shirt in either standard Principality Khaki or Char Red. For 7,700 yen, 59 US, there's a jersey. And finally, for 4,400 yen, 34 US, there is a work cap. And then the final Friday thing was the SDXC Gundam collection, where you could get this adorable rendition of the massive Xi Gundam on a t-shirt for 3,520 and 27 US, a tote bag for 2,420 Yen 19 US, a cushion cover for 3,850 Yen 30 US, a mug for 2,530 Yen 19 US, an acrylic stand for 1,870 Yen 14 US, an acrylic keychain for 880 Yen 7 US, and a pouch for 1,650 Yen 13 US. And after this strong start, they just kept on going with a massive amount of Witch from Mercury things on Monday. First up was a collection of towels featuring the main cast and the main machines. For 4,620 Yen 35 US, you could get one of 9 bath towels, and for 2,200 Yen 17 US, you could get one of the 11 face towels. Or if you prefer a Gundam ink towel, those also went up for pre-order alongside a bunch of other items featuring both the official and quickly written logo of Gundam Inc. There's a shirt for 3,520 Yen 27 US, a zip-up hoodie for 8,250 Yen 62 US, a cap for 4,070 Yen 31 US, a bath towel for 5,500 Yen 41 US, a face towel for 2,970 Yen 22 US, a mug for 2,530 Yen 19 US, pass case for 2,200 Yen 17 US, lanyard for 1,650 Yen 12 US, and last but not least, a straight up flag for 2,750 Yen 21 US. Next up then, we have the Asticacia Golden Logo Collection, where you can just get the items with a golden holder logo, as it should, but even the regular logo is now golden, although a little bit different. You can get them on a zip-up hoodie for 8,250 Yen 62 US, or a t-shirt for 4,180 Yen 31 US. And then to complete the outfits, we have 2 types of Witch from Mercury socks for 1,980 Yen a pair, 15 US. There's the holder model, and there's also the standard Asticacia model. And then finally on Monday, we got something really cool, the Mogumo Illustration Collection. Featuring Suletta, Miorine, Nika, Chuchu, Gyul, Elan, and Chadiq on a variety of items, but the illustrations used aren't the standard profile ones. And I gotta say, overall, I like these a lot more. Especially Suletta looks so much better and so much more like she appears in the anime. Like, the only exception for me is Gyul. I do prefer his original grumpy artwork over the newer shark mouth styled one. But anyways, you can get these designs on a t-shirt for 3,850 Yen 29 US, a tote bag for 2,750 Yen 21 US, an acrylic stand for 1,320 Yen 10 US, a charm for 880 Yen 7 US, a bath towel for 4,400 Yen 33 US, a face towel for 2,200 Yen 17 US, and a fiber cloth for 770 Yen 6 US. One day later then, you could also dress up a bit fancier, in Gundam style, with some shirts. For 9,350 Yen, 70 US, you can get a blue Federation one, white Xeon one, white Char one, blue Amuro one, gray Vist Foundation one, or white Mafty one. And then the last thing for Bankore was the acrylic logo display X for the Shinsei Development Corporation's logo on Wednesday. It'll set you back 1,320 Yen, 10 US, and will be coming your way in April. And all of the other Bankore stuff that we've talked about today is all slated for a March release. And after that massive onslaught of Bankore stuff, Strict G also released some stuff. Last week Friday, they unveiled their Gundam Windbreaker collection. The Windbreakers go for 14,850 Yen a piece, 111 US, and the available designs are Red Comet Black with red highlights, Xeon Khaki, Amuro Ray Navy Blue with white and red highlights, Mafty Bluish Gray with orange highlights, Holder White and Black with golden highlights, and standard Asticacia bluish green and black with red highlights. And even Cospa joined in on the fun with the announcement of 2 new Witch from Mercury cushion covers, retailing for $2,210 each, 17 US, and 4 types of Velcro patches, featuring Soletta, Miorine, Holder, and standard Asticacia. They go for $1,430 each, 11 US, and all of this Cospa stuff is slated for a mid-May release. And then you can try and store some of this stuff in the small folding containers styled after the Zeon Attack Forces Marine Transportation Fleet. These 20-liter containers go for $4,950 yen, 37 US, and you can get a dark red or olive drab version that'll be sailing your way in June. From P Bandai, of course. And let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. 2 weeks ago, Gundam.info wanted to know which Shark's Counterattack character we would rather get our Valentine's Day chocolates from. And the results haven't really changed. The overwhelming majority went for Chan with 42.6%, because of course. But the other great choice also did pretty well. Nanai with 29.4%. And then closing the ranks, we have Quest with a still relatively high 18%, and Keira with only 10%. I really think she's just doomed to always get the short end of the stick. As for the ongoing one then, in celebration of Gundam NT's television broadcast, Gundam.info wants to know what our favorite version of the narrative Gundam is. And both the main website and the Twitter version of the poll are in agreement so far. The basic version and the B-Pax version are neck and neck for third place, with the B-type edging slightly ahead, and then the A-Pax and C-Pax are neck and neck for first place, with the C-Pax, or the non-unicorn version, having a slight lead over the A-Pax version, or the not Dendrobium version. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. Don't forget to check out the SD Gundam Battle Alliance Steam giveaway. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.